All right, Shalom, Israel. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and blessings to the elect. It's the brother Yatazak from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, and on my way to the Shaddai, man, on the way to the plantation. But I got a little time, so Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the hopeful elect, you know, and give some understanding necessary for salvation, you know. So I wanted to go into Matthew chapter 13, and I'm just gonna get to it. Yeah, it says this is Matthew 13:1. It says, the same day went Yahushua out of the house and sat by the seaside, and a great multitude were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, you know. And this is likened to us going out to camp, you know, whatever days brothers go out, you know. The Lord was holding camp, you know, and the multitude was so great, and his voice was so strong that he had to go out on the boat because he was speaking to so many people. But that's not the point of the lesson. You know, it's just to get this thing going, get this thing cracking off. Because you have to see. You know, the Lord was talking to a multitude of people. You know, that's the point that I want you to get out of this. It was a lot of people. You know, it says, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he had went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came up, devoured them. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who had ears to hear, let him hear. Now, you may be able to have your own interpretation of what that means. You know, speaking amongst that many people, you see, he said, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear, after he gave the parable. You know what? Matter of fact, let's look up the word parable. You know how we do at Great Millstone, baby. You know, scripture say, study to show thyself to be approved. So we're going to look up the word parables. You know, because the Lord was speaking. The Lord, he would just throw things out there. He would just throw things out there, you know. And we're going to get into why. We're going to get into why. All right, parables. Let's see if they're going to say it. Parabola.
Strong's G 3850. Parabole.
Oh.
Parabole.
So, whatever, nigga. Yeah. It says, a placing of one thing by the side of another, juxtaposition of a ships in battle, metaphor, a comparison of one thing with another, likeness, similitude, an example by which a doctrine or precept is illustrated. You know what I'm saying? It says a narrative, a fictitious but agreeable to the laws of usage of human life, but which either the duties of men or the things of the Most High, particularly the nature of and history of the Most High's kingdom, are figuratively portrayed. A parable, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. You see, you got all these different things that we are focusing on, but we're gonna focus on a parable, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. You know what I'm saying? This is a proverb. So, all right, let's go. And this is the way the Lord was using carnal phrases and carnal sayings, but when he got the disciples, he would actually break down what he meant by it. But the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because the multitude, the people that didn't understand it, he did that on purpose, you know? And that's how you see these people today, man. They have their own interpretations of the Bible. Like when Peter says there's no private interpretation, You know, the reason why he says there's no private interpretation is because the true understanding was given through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So it's not a private interpretation that we have, it's the truth, you know, because we've gone through these scriptures and the Spirit has worked with us to break these things down and have that understanding. So when you have people that tell you, okay, well, that ain't what that's talking about, you know, and then when you ask them what it is talking about and they can't give you a definitive answer, then you understand that the Lord actually was speaking in parables and he's still doing it to this day. You know, when we go out on the highways and the byways, we talk to hundreds of people, thousands of people, you know what I'm saying? But everybody don't understand. You see? And this is the time that we in now, man. The spirit of Yahweh Shai, is heavy on the planet through the spirit and power of Yahweh, through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, man. Nobody pushes Yahweh Shai the way that we do, man. You know, we don't care about nothing else, man. We understand the words that he laid down for us so that we can be ready to be ridiculed and persecuted and all these things, man. That's why we do what we do. That's what I'm saying. You see that the apostles and elders don't stop teaching. You know, you see that the brothers that get slandered and the brothers that get talked about don't stop teaching. And the men that's under them don't stop teaching. And the men that's under them don't stop teaching. You see? Alright, let's roll. It says, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls... Okay, I already read that, so like let's see. Okay. It says, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100, some 60, and some 30-fold. Who had ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou in parables? And he said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So the ones that it's not given to, they can come up with their own interpretation of what they think the parable means. And if that makes them feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, fine. That's cool. But when he take the disciples to the back and break it down, so when we leave camp and we go break bread with each other and we have class, the Spirit tell you that when 2 or 3 are gathered in the midst of my name, I am there. You know what I'm saying? Loosely paraphrasing. But the Lord is the Lord is there when you speaking to him. He's supping with the flock, you know, through the Spirit. So those people who that Spirit was not given to, they come up with their own interpretations and whatever makes them feel good, and it's not according to the truth. It's just according to what they were given according to that parable. Because they're looking at the scriptures just like we are. But it's a parable unto them. It's a proverb unto them. It's confusion unto them. So they have to make it fit their perspective. They have to make it fit how they want to feel. Because everybody wants to have a part of this book. Everybody wants to have a part of the Heavenly Father. But if you're not chosen, you're not chosen. And that's myself included. I hope and I pray that the understanding that's been given me manifests itself into that mustard seed. You know? That mustard seed that goes into that huge ass tree. It says, for whosoever to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever had not, from him shall be taken away that he hath. You know what I'm saying? So some people gonna get these scriptures and they gonna understand, and some people not gonna get these scriptures and understand. And the ones that understand it are gonna get it in abundance, and the one that don't stick to this word and don't take heed, they gonna be through. You know what I'm saying? It says, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not. By hearing ye shall hear. Salakia, let me start that over. It says, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall understand, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted and be healed. You know, and we giving them the words that's going to convert them and heal them. But since they don't understand the parable, they shun it. You see? And he was referring to Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. You know? Yeah, the Lord was he was referring to Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. And just like the elder Yashawamba, he just recently did a lesson where he was going into how the Lord quoted Isaiah quite a bit, you know? And that's the disconnect. That's the disconnect between the believers of Yahweh Shai and the ones that don't. Because we talking the same word, man. We using the same book. But the parable is not understood. And these are the times that we living in, man. You know? And your salvation is based upon the understanding. If you have it, what you do with it, how you present it, you know, who you present it to, the whole bit. It says, blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. You know, they can read and see what we seeing, you know, on a carnal level, but the spiritual aspect, they don't get it. It says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. You know, that's what I'm saying. The Lord, he's breaking it down. He's giving us the understanding. You know what I'm saying? So the people that was out in the crowd, that he said, if you have ears to hear, let them hear, they was going to have to get it at another time. You know, they was going to have to ponder on that. Maybe they came back later. You know, maybe they came back later. You know what I'm saying? They got the understanding from a disciple later on down the line. Who knows? But at that point in time, it wasn't given to them, man. If the Lord don't give it to you, he don't give it to you. And if he does give it to you, he does it at his will. You know? It says, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he that receiveth seed by the wayside. Verse 20, it says, but he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. You know, and then you had those men to be, oh man, I'm an Israelite, this the truth, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? It says, yet hath he not rooted himself, but dureth for a while. See, when you're not rooted and built up and established in the faith and steadfast and unmovable, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't reached that point in your spiritual walk, then you subject to fall back into the world, which is what this is going into now. It says, but he that received the seed in stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth. Yet hath he not rooted himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation and persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. He like, oh, wait a minute now. Damn, I'm going to lose everything? You know, that's a hard pill to swallow for some, you know. And it ain't no easy thing. It ain't no light thing to take to hell with the world. You know what I'm saying? But when you understand the salvation, when you understand the parable, you know, it's a whole lot easier. Verse 22, it says, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitful of riches choke the word and becometh unfruitful. You know? And this is the one. This is the one. You know? The worldly, that worldly man, you know? The world has a stronger effect on you than these scriptures because you don't understand the parable. You know? You got these guys that think that you blessed by the more money you have, the more prosperity you have. You know what I'm saying? So you feel that, okay, well, I'm going to use the scriptures to, you know, to get my bread up, you know? And eventually, when you're not coming in sincerity and truth, when you in this for money, or you in this for riches, or if you in this for worldly, a corruptible crown, you become unfruitful because the word choked you out. You know what I'm saying? You choked on the word. You know what I'm saying? You thought you could use the word for your benefit rather than the glorification of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that's why your ass is gone. Verse 23, it says, but he that receiveth seed into good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it. You know? When you understand the word, you tend to change everything, man. When you understand the word, you realize that your body is going to be made a living sacrifice. And you would do it gladly. You know? And you're going to teach what you taught with fire, with fervent heat, man. You know what I'm saying? The apostles and elders always talk about being on fire and not being lukewarm. The reason why they stress on that is because Yahweh Shai stressed on that. You know? We follow the apostles and elders of Great Millstone because they follow Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Straight up. It says, which also beareth fruit and bring it forth, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. You know, your understanding, your knowledge, and what you share with the hopeful elect, you know, is going to bring fruit in levels, man. It's levels to this thing, man. You know, you got the apostles and elders that done brought in all kind of fruit from you too. You know what I'm saying? And they fruit bringing in fruit, you know. These camps are getting bigger and bigger, and they popping up in more and more places, as prophesied, you know. And now I'm gonna jump down to 34, because he goes into a couple other parables, you know. So 34, it says, all these things spake Yahushua unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them. So every time he was amongst the multitude teaching, he would always speak to them in parables. You know what I'm saying? Because the number he was looking for, he wasn't looking for quality, he was looking for quantity. You know what I'm saying? He don't need a whole lot. The Heavenly Father don't need a whole lot to do what he need to do. Salakia. It says that 35. It says that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. It says, then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. You know, and that was another parable that he had went into, you know, going into that time and going into that message. But the point I was making is people come up with their own private interpretations when they don't understand the parable. And Yahushua deliberately spoke in parables, you know. So the flack that we receive and the hate that we receive is not because of us, you know. It's because they don't understand the parable. They can't definitively say what the parable is talking about. That's why when we speak it so boldly and so fervently through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they get offended because we're confident and they're not. You see? With that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.